So on this episode, I have one update and a brand new story. First, a few days back, I think 2 days back, I made this episode about this young lady who had gone to a church and got shot coming out of a church from an all-night prayer. And we did mention that girl was a rape victim and she had opened a case and she was supposed to testify not long after that. We have an update concerning that case. 2 days back, I was reporting that there was potentially leads here in court. Someone made a video over there. I'm going to show you that video. The video is not in English. It's in Venda. I'm going to translate it for you on this episode. But also, as a second part of the story, speaking about the content creation space, there's a Nigerian comedian who came to South Africa. I'm not sure if he was here for work or content creation or something along those lines. He came through and he had been here for a while, for a couple of days, I think 10 days or so. And yesterday they are saying that he passed away. There's even a video online. I don't advise going to check that. And so those are the two stories that I wanted to talk about. And mostly you'll see him in all these videos of food challenges and all those type of videos and stuff. Now, the thing that's said about this gentleman is that he had survived a crash before, not long back. And so he came to South Africa. It's not very clear what exactly happened, but they're saying that after a night out, this morning his body just appeared to be non-responsive. And then you post after that, he then starts speaking about coming to South Africa on the 16th and so forth. And then they did their content. Like I said, he does a lot of food based type of content. And then he was in Sandton on the 21st and so forth. They appeared at a club. He was having fun. And unfortunately, that was it. And so it is absolutely sad to see. You just never know. With this life, overnight, time could literally be in a snap of a finger. Now, that takes me on to this young lady's story. I posted about it, I think 2 days back. And I spoke about how this young lady died not long after confirming the accusation of this false prophet from Limpopo by the name of Marito. We just call him Marito because his other name does not reflect who he is. The name is Innocent. He's not as innocent. The man is always constantly in trouble. One day she went to a church. Now I heard that he possibly knew the person who went to the church. Now that part I don't know anything about. I cannot say much about it. And I'll tell you who released the pictures just in a second of the young man that's possibly involved in that case. Right now, he appeared in court today. Okay? So, he appeared in court. The police don't play. The police will find you. Like, people do crimes. You know they'll find you, right? And they are still looking for the others who were involved in this entire thing, and I bet they too will come to answer to the law. And so the Daily Sun had posted this a couple of days back in October. They posted about her. She was a teacher. She died coming from a thing. Now you remember the dad was devastated over the passing of his daughter. It's Purupero. You have to know Venda in order for you to hear her, because she's able to go to the court and tell you what's happening. She's doing the whole application so that she can have access and take pictures. It takes a lot, trust me. I've gone through that process. I gave it up. It's a lot. So if you can hear Venda, you can go over there and check it out on her profile. I'm going to try and interpret a little bit as much as I can from the video that she made. Shout outs to her.
Hi guys, so Nandi Fulpero Richard the blogger of Vanning Yarita and Multimedia. So guys, it's something that I'm going to say the machine and I'm going to go down Motare, or the Chile Samurandu, or Brayolandina, my book.
So she's there at the Mutare is where the court case thing is happening. So she's gone there so that she can hear about the death or the shooting of that girl, because the guy who's appearing today is from that.
Get him. Rosika Fanani Cotin that Tomago as applications is already generated the Jima Mozago, the Nigon Genepe. So
she got in there, she did the applications. That's very interesting. In Limpopo, they do it fast. Sure. In Joburg, you'll fill papers, you must be sending emails. They don't respond. It's a lot. And so she applied. So when you see a camera inside a courtroom, you need permission for that. It takes a while. So that's why I'm saying if you can hear vendor, go support the girl over there.
In case never a high profile in but when the
so people want to hear about the court case. It is a high profile case because the prophet involved is known throughout South Africa.
Only victim only to Mumpondwa, the moto ene over Anamurandu Tambuzora in Cape Town.
So the prophet accused had a case in Cape Town. The accused from the girl, okay? So the girl accused this prophet. So the girl who died was accused of doing something in Cape Town. And so the girl, although the case might look like it's a random case where this guy killed this girl and it's not involved, but the girl who died, she had a case against this man in Cape Town.
So rasmesora yenu ni kesi yati yori dibonga batu na zinepe za ono ni mumbrero zeti yori zisiwe batu ni bamu wono ndi womu tena kumbre wakaili nini.
So the person who's basically attached to this case and the person who's been accused, this is him. We ought to put it out there. The public wants to know so that they can know who is this dangerous person out there doing the most. The interest for the public, basically.
Brayo and Gafala Gautrora and Baratenderiwa, Ratenderiwa, Pandarite Minerjima Pongo. Jena Coteti, Jena Bamubari and Miranduya, Mirandu in Ako Uweswayoni and Dani Magieti. So
that's the name of the gentleman, and Dan, the young gentleman that I showed you. So the charges that this young man is being accused of,
Uri Ndia Brayo, Kilandinani, Havana Yella Mavini, the Zumbra, Musichitunchua Dinani, the Havana driver, and Otunchua Range, Havana Bomb.
There was a driver who was shot on the leg.
Fumakazam Gurunava, Botunchua, Vene, Papa Botunchua, oh, Wesua Milan Mividia attempted murder.
And so pertaining those two, so there was an older lady, and then there was the driver that is now charged of attempted murder, and then also the murder of the girl.
Then Kaula one deny the Wesua no wa Brayo to a murder. Amu was the Meriana we made Udonyagam by Meriba, automatically the Meriba, Professor Messer. Only Maranduno no Riva now. The Marandu run only Ongapeza when we have which run water. So they asked him, are you gonna represent yourself or do you want someone to represent you? And they told him, you don't want to represent. He thought he could represent himself. They said, you don't want to do that. You gotta know the law. There's a right way to respond. There's a wrong way to respond. You can be dismissed because you are responding the wrong way. So you want to have representation. You don't want to represent yourself. Rone, Nisumres of the Nishita da or the Mirangani, as Mesore, and Udonyo the email any moon, or Udonya Gamalera, we are private and other Abadera. Achquita or mini, only Mranutavanu Fere, Gauri, and Unambire, Gazi, Gaga, Friday, Musachi Faroma Police, Ukosmisor, and whatever Mujia, Bamu, who's second Yabachicomu, Robachicomu, Osmidor or Riwa, Ari Bachicomu, sorry, no Rumangani, who eat a home. So
the young man claimed that they were asking him questions, interrogating him. There was possibly, that's what he said, when they were asking him questions pertaining, who sent you, why did you, the whole nine hodges, basically. And so they had warned him, you might want to represent yourself because this case can take you to jail for your whole life. So you want good representation, and all that. Find lawyers who are going to represent you so that they can speed up the trial and all that.
Noni mlandu aringa uraroi ndikotoda uri honori mlandu utavanya ufere nga utavanya nga uri nendi kufuri vakumbuyisa mbudziso dzine ati kuzvifuna ane lawyer la private zvitavanya zvipere murana pamusumbedzisa uri mini honori mlandu munwane une ari chikofu kosenga ungaya wasenga high court kana wasenga regional rune asi mlandu une adotofudo topera nga utorharo nga utavanya rune and ozviumbudisa zvone.
So the young man was under the impression that if he gets a lawyer, he can get this chop done. We argue, everybody goes home. So the judge had to kind of like settle his mind. Young man, you're possibly going to be here for a minute. So have your grips in order. This is not something you're just going to dodge overnight. It's not finishing tomorrow. It's a big case.
Lemulano no kadito vana rwendo ruhuru ukotiyo toto prepare zvavudi ukadivana investigation ngabukati ubva pasumbesoro ene kutoda muimereri wavo mara asumbesoro chimwe chito chine havana mbiro yacho ndichauri ene ahange ngangomu hako ukona ubona na family yavo pamashaka wako kono vapona ngatungo ngafanani hune havahone ubona ngari kutodzimbiwa ngatire yaviwa ngawo chitokisini ukofori one otodzimbiwa hango hafree uva anenge ijere nauri kamisa kankono na voramirayo asimbesoro ene kutoda voramirayo ari ndangawana novofunza voramirayo voshungwani ndinganyaka kutusiwa nga voshungwani murana vasimbesoro vone nambafunza voshungwani avanadzo avafari nambafunza maloyara so ngautoraro avanadzo ene udo wana chikhala chauri aite mini aiye awane nomboro dza havo voramirayo venadzo.
So it's a bit of a lengthy one because just wanted to kind of shorten it up. So the young man's arguments are a little bit all over the place. He thought, hey, I want to be represented by this man. I guess he saw him on social media, and maybe they can get him the number of that person. And the judge had to say, I don't carry around people's numbers. So if you want a certain lawyer, that will be on you to go and get that lawyer, and so forth. And so while they also had to explain to him why the case will take time, which means investigations, preparations for the lawsuits, for the case, and also evidence presentation, all of that stuff. That stuff takes time. It takes a very long time to do all of those things. They had to kind of like get him around that.
Kote ishi vachikopera ngotoraro vapirisira panda vaipirisira panda uya ngazi 2 dzaDecember musi ena chidova chikopuwa chikhala choro achange voramirayo vawe zvambori ngauri ronodhi mupfa chikwambori ukotoda vohlungwani zvambori dhodhi vari kutangana vohlungwani ngazi 2 dzaDecember arali uri ene navo vapfesesana. So
the case is postponed to the 2nd of December if the two of them are in agreement.
Zvambori khawo mulandu vewe guys ndinivona ngazi 2 dzaDecember richikopfara chikototisani ngamana ngori mulandu ukofara uchifika ukadhivana investigation inji rune rakadzopfa manje khawo unoni mulandu dzitundi.
So on the 2nd she's going to be there, she's going to follow it up, she's going to give us information. So as I mentioned, if you do hear Venda, you can go follow her on her Facebook page. That is it right there. Investigations that they're probably still carrying out. So they might have something that they were able to attach him to that they could bring him in for. But then there's other things to kind of like solidify the case and completely nail it down. And the investigators are possibly going to kind of like narrow those things out. There was something that kind of came up last time, and it was the subject matter of the gun. There was something along the side of gun, ballistics, what. We don't want to talk about that. I did hear that on a certain post. And also there was also mention of a cell phone which was supposedly to be gotten rid of. So I'm guessing the phone might have had messages on it, and he was only supposed to use it to communicate, but he didn't. So that phone might also contain some of the evidence that actually led them to him, which is possibly going to get him. Crime does not pay. I don't know how many times people need to hear it. Crime does not pay. Like there's absolutely zrinch. This girl might have done absolutely nothing to him, but he felt for whatever. But anyways, that is going to show itself. They have finally caught the young man who they are saying that is behind this whole thing, and it's going to be a very bumpy ride. Should this young man, the funny thing is that should this young man be linked to the prophet, who, bear in mind, this girl, what are the odds that this girl was set to testify, and as the girl is set to testify, she just gets shot? And apparently there was someone who was sent to check on the girl after she attended this night prayer. If this attaches to him, he's done with. He is completely done with. He's going to spend a very long time in jail. I do not know how many times we've warned him. We've warned Mritu. Stop this up and down. Can you just go back to the Bible? Can you repent of all this nonsense that is up to? He was constantly. And you know, it's like when the devil's really got you and is really about to throw you in the mud, they just get into trouble after trouble after trouble. There was a voice note that came out. There was all these accusations when there was another guy who was accused of forcing himself on women some time ago. And I think that guy actually ended up going to jail. There were a couple of cases that were attached to him. And that guy was linked back to him, was linked back to Mritu. Constantly, there was always something. He was caught drunk, he caught drunk. I said, Chief, can you straight up your life? No. Him is a prophet. He prophesies. No prophets here. Sterk Reality Show to Daily Christian Commentary videos. Other episodes done today, they'll be down in the pinned comments. Shout out to Furipero for covering it for us. Go check her out on her Facebook. I'll have a good day. Get away from these people. There is nothing there. It's a magician's show.